In this video series, I'm going to show you how you can use PowerPoint to make 2D animated videos. Now, oftentimes when you want to make 2D animations, you can either use complicated and expensive animation software, or you kind of have to settle for free and easy to use online tools that don't offer you a lot of flexibility or customizability. I'm going to show you how PowerPoint actually cuts this middle ground between the two, where you have a lot of flexibility and customizability, but it's also pretty accessible and easy to use, as I'll show you through this tutorial. So let's get started with our sample animation, and this is what we're going to be building throughout this video tutorial, but along the way I'll show you principles that you can use for a variety of different purposes. So here we have it. So there we have it. A lot of different functionalities. We can see that there are objects changing, moving, rotating, triggering other animations, moving in front of or behind objects. Let's get started with just the basics. I'm going to start here on this blank screen and show you how you can use PowerPoint to insert objects and add animations to them. In order to add an object onto your screen, you need to go up here to your Insert tab. So I select Insert, and as you can see, there are a variety of different features and functionalities available, and I'm just going to go ahead and stick with the Pictures option. Once I selected Pictures, I'm going to click on my smiley face because that's what I want, but you can navigate anywhere on your computer. Now, the smiley face by default takes up the entirety of the screen. In order to kind of move it to where I want it to start off with, I'm going to have to resize it and relocate it. To resize the smiley face, I drag any of these corners and I pull it down to the desired size. Now that I have it at the right size, I'm going to move it by clicking and dragging, and that relocates it to wherever I want it to be. So I have it set at the right size and shape for what I want it to start off with. The next thing I need to do while I have it selected is add an animation. To do that, I go up here to the Animations tab, and there are again a variety of functions. Immediately what I see below the Animations tab right here are all of these different options. Right here in the corner, I can click on this drop-down menu, and this shows you even more options for animations that I can add. Let's give a quick breakdown of the kinds of animations we have here. First off, we have entrance animations, such as appearing, fading, flying in, or floating in. These are the animations that define how an object appears onto the screen, if it's not there at the beginning. The next category is emphasis. This includes things like pulsing, teetering or spinning, i.e. rotating in place, growing or shrinking, and changing saturation or brightness. These features essentially allow for the object to do something once it's already on the screen. The last category is exit, and this category basically is a mirror of the entrance effects, and it allows you to define how the object leaves the screen. But we're going to look at this last category right here, these motion paths. This is a separate category from all the previous ones because you can define it to allow the object to move onto the screen, to move off of the screen, or to move within the screen. So it doesn't neatly fit into the entrance, emphasis, or exit categories. Specifically, the motion path that we're going to take advantage of is this line feature. So I'm going to go over here, select lines. As we can see, the default is for it to go down. In order to set that, I'm going to click on it, go up here to the Effect options right next to our Animations drop-down menu, and change the direction from down to left. As we can see, there's another default that's also set for us, and that's not the direction, but the amount by which the object moves. That's defined by this green starting point and the distance to this red ending point. So I'm going to click on this red ending point, since we already have the object where we want it to start, and click on it to move it where we want it to end. As you'll notice, I can move it slightly up or slightly down. I can even rotate it all the way around. In order to ensure that when we're moving this along the horizontal axis as we want to, we can put our smiley face really anywhere and click on the Shift button. This makes sure that any motions in the cursor, if we move up or down, really doesn't reflect too much. Only the motion sideways affect whether or not our object is moved. And this depends on what our axis is. If the object were moving up or down, it would affect it that way. But right now, since our object is moving side to side, we can change the distance by which it's moving to the side using the shift button. And as we can see, movements in the cursor up here only affect side to side movements in the endpoint right here. So now that we have that set, we can let go and define it. And the last thing we need to do is preview our animation to make sure it looks roughly like how we want it. So I'm going to do that using the Animations tab and the Preview feature. So there we have it. It looks almost exactly like we want it to look like, and so we're going to leave it at that. That's how you use the Insert and Animations tab to add an object and add an animation to it. Stick around while we show you more features in PowerPoint in order to make our animation.